We are in London with Reuben Rosenberg, who is working in the world of music, but politically you are a supporter of Lexit, of the exit of the UK from the European Union, the leftist exit. So you are voting Leave, but you are definitely very different from Nigel Farage or Michael Gove or other people who are supporting from the right. Let's try to explain this position.
Yeah, very, very different from Michael Gove and Boris Johnson.
Also in the look.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not about trying to stop immigrants coming to Britain. We want more immigrants in Britain. It is about giving people here and elsewhere a bit of space to move away from the free market rules, the state aid rules that are mandated by Europe. So it's about having something different. It's about democracy and social justice.
And you also said that the socialism proposed by Jeremy Corbyn could not become reality inside the EU because of EU rules.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy Corbyn couldn't even really renationalise the railways inside EU rules. In terms of nationalising loss-making businesses to protect jobs, like what we need to do in Wales, that couldn't be done. Under the EU rules, we have to remain open to trade, we have to remain open to world markets, we don't get any say over that. And if the government was to set up any productive enterprise, it would have to be run on a profit-making basis, like a capitalist business. So we could not remake Britain within the boundaries set by Europe at all.
What about the steel industry?
The steel industry's got serious problems. The point is that there's been a flood of cheap Chinese steel. Its costs are very low to start off with because they don't have proper trade unions, not serious environmental regulation, and it's being sold below cost. Now, any sensible government would want to bring in steel tariffs. In America, because the people in charge of this actually have some accountability to the people, they are doing this very fast. In Europe, we are not. So the point is that the people who are taking that decision to keep our markets open to dump steel are not accountable to those who are going to lose their livelihoods. And we can't do anything to revive the towns that are dying because that too would break the state aid rules.
And the refugee crisis has exposed the weakness of the European project because the refugees who entered Europe last year are about 1 million on a population of 500 million people in the EU. So the number is big, but it's not huge. So it was enough to force some governments to close the frontier or to threaten to close the frontiers, to make new barriers.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've seen is that despite all the talk of internationalism, Europe, the European nations, as they are organised in the EU, are not up for dealing with the refugee crisis in a humane fashion or in a united fashion. All that the EU hasn't done nothing to diminish petty nationalism. Everyone's trying to push the refugees elsewhere, not sometimes out of Europe, but more commonly out of their small nation. And I think what we're also seeing is that the EU is actually stealing the walls of the fortress. That what we're seeing is a massive social movement of refugees to resist Europe's borders, and that can only be dealt with, that can only be opposed by Europe through massive intergovernmental coordination. So France has said, if Britain leaves the EU, we'll stop cooperating with you and keeping the refugees out of your country. What we've also seen is the European powers clubbing together to push a deal on Turkey to act as like the prison wall. They wouldn't be able to do that except through pooling their powers. So it's actually it has very little to do with free movement. It's got very much to do with stopping the movement of people.